Let me share a story with you. Long ago, nestled high in the mountains, a monastery stood in quiet serenity where two students walked the path of wisdom. Their names were Listen and Silent, two seekers, two minds, each following a different path in their search for truth. Listen believed wisdom was found in knowledge. He devoured teachings, debated ideas, and questioned every master. Silent believed wisdom was found in stillness. He spoke little, asked even less. Instead of seeking, he waited. Instead of debating, he observed. For years they studied, meditated, and practiced. Yet neither had found enlightenment. One evening, burdened by frustration, they approached their master. "Master, we have followed every path, yet we remain in the dark. What are we missing?" The old master smiled, his eyes twinkling like a river reflecting the sun. "Go into the forest, take different paths, return at sunset, and tell me what you have learned." And with their master's words echoing in their minds, they set off on their separate paths, each seeking the answer in their own way. The path of listen, the sound of confusion. Driven by a relentless desire for answers, Listen walked briskly, stopping to question everyone he encountered. First, a woodcutter, his hands roughened by years of toil. Listen stepped forward and asked, "Sir, how does one find enlightenment?" "Chop wood, carry water, do the work, and you will understand." Next, he approached an old woman humming softly by the well. Listen knelt beside her and asked, "Grandmother, how does one reach enlightenment?" "Give love freely, and the truth will find you." Finally, as the sun dipped lower, he spotted a wandering monk dressed in flowing robes. This time, he was certain, this man would have the answer. Listen hurried forward, his heart pounding. He bowed deeply and pleaded, "Master, what is the path to wisdom?" But the monk merely smiled and walked away. Listen stood frozen. No words, no explanation, just silence. He took a step forward as if to call after the monk, but something stopped him. As he watched the figure disappear down the path, a strange emptiness settled in his chest. Every answer had been different, and now there was no answer at all. Which one was true? Frustrated, he wandered to a still lake. His reflection stared back, clear and undisturbed. Yet as he leaned closer, his breath rippled the water. The image distorted. Lost. Why won't it show me the truth? With a weary sigh, he gave up. The sun was setting, and he turned back, more lost than ever. The path of silent, the lesson in stillness. Silent, meanwhile, entered the forest and simply walked. He did not ask, he did not seek, he only observed. He saw the wind move the trees without resistance. He saw birds chirping, then falling silent as he approached. He saw a river flowing, never questioning its path. At first his thoughts whispered doubts. Should I be searching? Should I be asking? But as he let go, his mind grew quiet. Then he saw a deer approaching the river to drink, but it did not rush. It stood still. It waited for the water to settle, and only then did it lower its head. And in that moment, Silent understood, without seeking, without asking. The truth had revealed itself. He smiled and walked back to the monastery. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Listen and Silent returned to the monastery. Their master sat in the courtyard, waiting. Listen arrived first. His steps were heavy, his brow furrowed in frustration. Silent followed, his expression unreadable, calm yet thoughtful. The master gestured for them to sit. For a long moment, there was only the sound of the wind rustling through the trees. Finally, he spoke. "Tell me, what have you found?" Listen clenched his fists. He leaned forward, his voice filled with exasperation. "Master, I asked and searched, but every answer was different. The more I tried to understand, the more confused I became." He let out a breath, shaking his head. "Some say enlightenment is found in action. Others say in love. Some refuse to answer at all. How can truth be so uncertain?" His voice wavered slightly, betraying the weight of his doubt. Silent, still seated with his legs crossed, lowered his gaze for a moment. Then, without urgency, he lifted his head and spoke. "Master, I did not ask, I did not seek, and yet I found what I was looking for." The master nodded, then reached down. With a single finger, he traced 2 words into the dust on the stone floor. Listen, Silent. Both students leaned in, listened, squinted, his mind racing. Then suddenly his breath caught. They are the same letters, just rearranged. The master smiled. Because to truly listen, one must first be silent. And in that moment, Listen saw it. The letters had never changed. Only their order had. The meaning had never changed. Only his perception had. Truth had never been hidden. Only his noise had drowned it out, like the lake he had gazed into. At first his reflection was clear. Then his breath disturbed the surface. The image rippled, distorted. The truth had been there all along, but his own presence had blurred it. He let out a slow breath, his shoulders relaxing. And now he understood. But then the master turned to Silent. "And you have found wisdom in stillness? But tell me, what will you do with it?" Silent hesitated. For years he had believed that silence was the answer. But now a doubt stirred within him. Is wisdom meant to be kept in silence? The master's eyes twinkled. The Buddha once sat in silence for 49 days beneath the Bodhi tree. But what did he do after that? Silent's breath caught. He knew the answer and whispered. He spoke. The Buddha did not remain in silence. He taught. He shared what he had learned, not with noise, but with purpose. Because wisdom is not just stillness. Wisdom is knowing when to break the silence. Before we go any deeper, pause for a moment. There was never two, there had only ever been one. Listen and silent were not opposites. They were not even separate, like the sky and the ocean, appearing distinct, yet both made of the same vastness. Like the inhale and the exhale, two halves of a single breath, never truly apart. Listen sought wisdom in words, chasing answers through questions. Silent sought wisdom in stillness, believing truth would reveal itself in silence. Yet neither had truly understood, because wisdom is not found in endless seeking, nor is it found in passive waiting. It is found where both meet, in the space between sound and stillness, between searching and surrendering, between form and emptiness. In your own journey, which path have you walked? Have you been like Listen, constantly seeking answers, chasing knowledge, believing that wisdom comes from understanding more? Or have you been like Silent, withdrawing into stillness, believing that if you simply wait, the truth will reveal itself? Or perhaps you have felt torn between the two. Most people spend their lives swinging between these two extremes, searching relentlessly, then retreating in exhaustion. But what if I told you, neither path alone leads to wisdom? True understanding is found not in seeking nor in silence alone, but in the balance between them. And that balance is guided by three timeless principles. Let's uncover them together. 1. The middle way, the path of balance. This is the essence of the middle way, the path the Buddha himself walked. Neither indulgence nor deprivation, neither clinging nor avoidance. Listen, grasped for knowledge, believing words would reveal the truth. Silent withdrew from the world, believing wisdom lay only in silence. But true understanding is not in extremes, it is in balance. The Buddha did not seek wisdom only in silence beneath the Bodhi tree, nor did he chase answers through endless questioning. He found truth in the middle, where wisdom arises naturally, like a river flowing without force. 2. The illusion of control and the power of letting go. By the lake, Listen searched for clarity in his reflection. But the more he leaned in, the more his breath disturbed the water. The image rippled. The truth was lost. This is impermanence. Anicca. The more we grasp, the more things slip away. The more we try to control, the further we drift from truth. The Buddha taught, to see clearly, one must let go. Not by force, not by silence alone, but by deep awareness. Seeing without grasping. 3. Emptiness and interbeing, the illusion of separation. Listen, and Silent had believed they were different. One seeking, one waiting, one speaking, one listening. But this was an illusion, just as the sky and the ocean are not separate, just as inhaling and exhaling are part of the same breath. Listen and Silent were two expressions of the same being. This is emptiness, shunyata, not nothingness, but interconnection. To truly listen, one must first be silent inside. To be silent inside is to listen without the noise of the mind. This is wisdom. Not something to chase, not something to retreat from, but something already within you, waiting in the space between. And now I ask you, have you too been lost in this illusion? Have you believed that wisdom is something out there, something you must chase? Or have you withdrawn into silence, believing stillness alone is enlightenment? What if I told you both were illusions? What if I told you there was never a choice between one or the other, that the one who listens and the one who remains silent are the same, that the seeker and the knower are one, that the wisdom you have always searched for was already within you? Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of awareness. And true listening is not about hearing words, it is understanding what lies beyond them. This is why the Buddha sat in silence after his enlightenment. Not because he had nothing to say, but because truth is not spoken. Truth is seen, and when you see it, truly see it, you will understand there was never a master teaching you. There was never a student learning. There was only awareness awakening to itself. All your life, you have been searching, chasing answers, hoping they would bring clarity. Or perhaps you have chosen stillness, believing wisdom comes from silence alone. But pause for a moment. Ask yourself, have you ever truly looked, not with the mind that seeks, not with the ears that listen, but with the awareness that simply is. Because wisdom is not found in endless questions, nor is it found in mere quietude. It is found in the space between knowing and unknowing. If you are always seeking, stop. Let truth arise on its own. If you are always silent, speak. Share what you have come to understand. Because enlightenment is not about choosing between searching or stillness. It is about knowing when to surrender and when to act. But here lies the paradox. Even this wisdom, if grasped too tightly, becomes another illusion. Because if you are waiting for the perfect moment to act, perhaps you are already too late. And if you are searching for the right words to say, perhaps silence was the answer all along. So now, what will you do? If this story resonated with you, take a moment, sit in stillness, and reflect. And if you feel someone else needs to hear this, share it with them. Let's create a space where wisdom is both expressed and understood. Comment below. What part of this journey spoke to you the most? Let's learn from one another. Like, share, and subscribe if you seek more wisdom on this path.